Wow, builders are slashing prices and essentially in panic mode during the summer selling season. It happened even in the spring selling season. Check this out. Home builders are slashing prices at the highest rate in 3 years. Now, why is this important? Well, if you've been watching the videos, in the second half of 2022, we saw the market drop 15%. Check this out. May of 2022, we peaked at the median price of $600,000. Then we had 9 consecutive months of price drops to January of 2023 to $510,000. Now, the Greater Salt Lake market dropped 15%. Nationwide, it was 10%. And I've been saying the resemblance this year in 2025 to the resemblance in 2022. Now, if we continue along, check this out right here. New home market is stagnant in June as inventory rises and prices slip. Now, you're seeing inventory elevated here, this purple blue line at the top. And I'm also going to show you price cuts that are happening on these new construction builds right here. And I'm also going to share some articles with you. This is going to have a ton of packed information. Now let's dive into this. So right here, we're seeing inventory rises and prices slip. This was in June. Now, when we take a look at this article right here, this one just came out on August 4th. Home builders tackle elevated new home inventories. Now, if we continue reading this, new home inventory has reached 9.8 months of supply as of June of 2025, marking the highest level since 2009 financial crisis and creating significant pressure on home builders. You are seeing that happening, and I've been stating that it's going to happen this year. That's the same scenario that we saw in that second half of 2022. Now, check this out. Builders' confidence is already as low as it was in the end of the year in November of 2023 and almost as low as it was in December of 2022. If you take a look right there. Now, I'm going to show you here these price cuts. Take a look. Oh, and I've shown this in a previous video. Look at this multifamily, these apartment complexes. Look how much more was built right here during the pandemic than in 2008, 2009. And even more, this right here is 2008, 2009. Look how much more, 2.5 times more inventory on those apartment complexes and even more than the booms of the 1970s. That's still inventory. Somebody can rent. They're not homeless. They have a roof over their head. Now, take a look at this house right here. $549,000. And like I stated, Zillow only shows the most recent price cut of $10,000. But I'm going to show you what this house is actually doing. Now, look at this. $20,000 in closing costs with a full price offer. Well, their full price offer now is $549,000, but they started at $589,000. Essentially almost $600,000. Well, if we take that $20,000 toward your closing costs, buying the rate down, $549 right here, minus that is $529. This builder is essentially down $60,000 from their initial list price. And if we look at this right here, the price history, that was May of 2025, and now their last price cut was in July, and now they're offering that incentive. So they're seeing that these incentives are not compensating with the 511,000 new homes for sale at the end of June, which was an increase of 8.5% from the same period last year, and builders are grappling with the most challenging inventory situation in over a decade. Don't let anybody say, look at this, highest level since 2009, 16.7% increase in months of supply compared to June of 2024. Right here, well beyond the threshold of a 6-month threshold that's typically considered a balanced market. And that whole 6 months of inventory is a balanced market. Below that is a seller's market. Above that is a buyer's market. That's old data. That's from the 1970s, the 1990s, prior to the internet. If something's sitting on the market for 6 months, 180 days in today's day and age with Prime, with 2-day shipping, that's not a seller's market. We have to fix this data because back in the day, somebody would have to get in their car, go look at these houses, and they didn't have the internet. They couldn't just pull it up on their phone. So the market moved much slower. That's why statistics, these data, you just got to pay attention to. They're just trying to manipulate things. This house right here also dropped its price, 549. They're offering a 3.99% ARM, and I believe it was for 6 years. So essentially, you can lock a 3.99% variable interest rate for 6 years, and then of course, depending on what the market's doing, that interest rate will either go up or down, depending on what the interest rates are at the time. You're seeing it here as well. Now, there's actually some bankruptcies with builders that I want to share with you guys. And I'm in a dilemma here because I'm debating if I want to continue the YouTube channel. And there's so much information that I think that I have to make 2 videos a week because there's just a ton of information that's unfolding. I mean, a bankruptcy that is happening with a local builder, and then another one that I have some insight on that I'm actually dealing with. Just wild. Smash the like button, hit that subscribe button. If this YouTube channel stays, which is a pretty good chance, I'm kind of leaning toward that, even though it's counterintuitive to my business, just smash the like button, hit that subscribe button. You're going to want to pay attention to the videos that are to come. Look at this house right here, 549,900, right? Well, let's look at the history. What is this house doing? They started in April, in the spring, at $602,000. They did multiple price cuts, then they increased the price, trying to do some FOMO, fear of missing out. And then they're saying, okay, these little up and down prices aren't really doing anything. So then they go, boom, 584, boom, 549. And look at this, July 31st, right here, July 23rd. And then, it's my computer doing, and then July 31st. And then right over here, August 7th. I mean, that's panic mode right there. They're essentially week after week changing the price. That means that the price change that's happening isn't even bringing a buyer in. It's not even bringing them any offers. Now, that builder confidence, like I said, it's awful. It's as bad as it is at the end of the year during the spring and summer selling season. Inventory is extremely elevated over the years past. I mean, you'd have to go back to 2015, 2016 to have more inventory. New construction is definitely just booming everywhere with multifamily and single family. Now, this is why it's important to pick a real estate agent that's actually monitoring what's going on, that's able to actually give you data. And when you do need a realtor, look, reach out. My contact information is down below. We can set up a free consultation, see if we're a good fit for one another. And I'm going to keep sharing this with you. And if you can buy this year, next year, the year after, I don't care. I've been doing this for almost 10 years. I'm going to be doing this for another 20 to 30 years. So you take your time. Now, check this out. This house right here, I actually showed this neighborhood, and they have a ton of homes. And I was telling my buyer, I said, this place has a ton. They're going to do major price drops here in the second half. And they already did some price drops, and they were offering a 4.99% fixed rate on a conventional and a 4.5 on a FHA. Well, they took that away because it wasn't bringing anything in, and they slashed the price $51,000 here on August 5th. And it's $749,900. But if you take a look, they actually started the year at $916,000. Then they kept doing these price drops, offering the 4.99% interest rate. Now they're $849, $812. So keep in mind, this is all the way from $916,000. And now they are at $749,990. You're just seeing that these builders are in panic mode. They're the fear of missing out. This is only going to be around for a month. Yeah, if you're doing this in the spring and in the summer, trust me, that's most likely going to be at the end of the year, something that's going to be available as well, especially when you look at the inventory that is extremely elevated. And if you haven't by now, you have to smash that like button. You have to hit that subscribe button. Nobody has your back like Dinko the Realtor. When you do need a realtor in Utah, you know who to call. You know who's not going to give you any BS, who's not going to give you any FOMO, fear of missing out. Just give you information. You make the decision this year, next year. And we have to pay attention to what's going to happen with the foreclosures. And depending on the graphs, depending on the data, the inventory, that's indicating certain months. And I used to share this in the past, but now let's get together, see if we're a good fit. And I'm going to share this with you, the graphs, the data of what it's indicating could potentially be the better time to buy, depending on the goal you're looking for. Now, if you have to buy this year, then we'll analyze it for this year. And if you're wanting to buy this year, next year, the year after, and you just don't care, the deal's the thing you're looking for, then we're gonna have to follow different data patterns and different things that are unfolding in the economy as well as with the foreclosures. So again, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and when you do need a realtor in Utah, my contact information is down below.